Alright, hey guys, Paxer, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, we'll be going over Vespiquen EX. Not Vespiquen, not Vespiquen, even though I say it later on this video. Vespiquen. I looked it up and that's the official pronunciation. So yeah, this is Vespiquen EX. HP 140, stage 1. Has 1 attack, chase order. The 70 base damage requires 2 grass type energy. After attacking, you may discard 1 of your bench basic grass Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 70 more damage, so a total of 140. And yeah, this is the deck list right here. This is a 2D pattern code. It'll also be in the top left portion of the screen, as you can see. And in case you guys don't know how the QR system works in this game, since it is rather new, in order to copy a deck using the QR system, all you have to do is click build new, scan code. It'll ask you to scan your screen. It's not working for me, of course, since I am playing on a PC. So you can either scan it via camera, or you can scan saved image, as you can see from the bottom right. You click that, it would pull up your camera roll, in which you can just select your screenshot and just save it like that. Slightly digressing, I just wanted to mention it since it is a new feature. But yeah, this is the deck list. I'll show it yet again towards the end of the video. Vespiquen, Combee, and Shuckle. As you can see, this deck has a lot of healing. Ideally, you want to lead with Shuckle. Have Shuckle tank, make sure it doesn't get knocked out. Eventually sub into Vespiquen, and using Vespiquen's attack ability, discard Shuckle, making sure that your opponent can't Cyrus later on, and just sweep your opponent just like that. But yeah, if this is your first video on my channel, really would appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right into the deck showcase. Alright, here we are. In our first battle, we are going first up against the Typhlosion EX solo deck, leading with Shuckle. You can also lead with Combee if you are going second. Going first, much more beneficial to lead with Shuckle. But just like this, placing it down. Professor, leave keeping the Shuckle just in case, and our turn. This is a very good starting hand, so of course you want to lead with Shuckle. This is not too bad of a setup. Next turn, we can evolve into Vespiquen, and if need be, we could heal with Poltergeist. So as you can see with Poltergeist Hospitality, once during your turn, when you put this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may heal 20 damage to your active grass Pokemon. We might as well place down Poltergeist and then Copycat. Not really utilizing Hospitality, but nevertheless getting a lot of value with Copycat. Somewhat decent ship early on. Keep in mind, Shuckle also has Solid Shell, negating 20 damage, so could be a potential tank, especially with all the healing in this deck. Alright, looking pretty good. So Professor, Fragrant Forest. This should give us our last basic, which is Shuckle EX. For now, place down Poltergeist, healing Shuckle a little bit. So yeah, feed Vespiquen. Next turn, Vespiquen can attack, doing a max of 140. For now, slap in. Give me 1 more heads. Perfect. Okay, just like that, doing 40 damage this turn. So Torkoal is down to 60 HP. And one thing to know about Vespiquen, that 70 extra damage is optional. So you'll see it later on, gives you the choice whether to do it yes or no. That's crazy. Okay, opponent, all they do is feed Cyndaquil, ends their turn. At this point, we might as well be a bit aggressive, so retreat into Vespiquen. As you can see, it gives you the option either to do it yes or no. At this point, I might as well, just so that I can get another Vespiquen out and attacking. So removing Shuckle, potential liability, just like that, and doing 140. So yeah, it feels kind of slow, especially if you are going first, but you can do a ton of damage with Vespiquen, as well as being somewhat defensive, discarding a potential loss condition. Opponent can't get Typhlosion out. That is rough. We are burnt, but it doesn't matter, because of course we do. For one thing, we have Lucky Ice Pop, Erica as well. So in one turn, you can heal up to 110 damage minimum. That is 2 Poltergeist, Erica, and Lucky Ice Pop. And if you keep on getting heads, you can heal up much more. But for now, just place down Combee. Start feeding the second copy. Why not? Just heal up a bit. At this point, I basically won. Again, first battle for these deck showcases aren't really meant to be too hard. Perfect, getting heads. Chase order, once again, gives you the option. Might as well, yeah, why not? Discarding a Poltergeist. One thing to note is that you can only discard bench basic grass Pokemon. That is rough. Opponent's getting very unlucky. I feel very bad for this guy, but at the same time, it is what it is. Just like that, I got all my cards. Why not putting another Shuckle down for fun? At this point, just BM. Heal with Erica, Lucky Ice Pop. If my opponent had free will, I'm sure they would surrender at this point. If I won, I could just retreat into a second copy of Vespiquen. However, keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, if you do Chase Order, I can't discard Vespiquen. It has to be a basic grass, which is why, of course, we're running Shuckle and Poltergeist. Shuckle, good job, man. Just like that, taking the win. And yeah, with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP battle. Going second, I'm actually going to lead with Combee. Yeah, so we can get a lot of value, especially leading with this guy because of Call for Family. So just play it like this. If my opponent does Sabrina, it isn't the end of the world. Leading with Eevee, pulling a Poltergeist, Professor Research. This will be absolutely amazing if you can pull... Ooh, okay. Not looking too good. Could look better, but if you evolve into Vespiquen next turn, you can start being super aggressive, doing 140 each turn, just like that. But for now, saving Poltergeist for later, just in case, so call for family. You should either give me a combi or a Shuckle. Getting another Shuckle, okay. Getting another combi would be nice, but again, this guy, don't underestimate this worm, crustacean, whatever this is. Opponents leading with a lot of EVs. Kind of scary. GG. It's basically GG at this point. All they do is Pokeball, evolve into Sylveon, drawing a couple cards. Friggin' Force, getting our last copy of Combi. Perfect. Just like this, Vespiquen can attack. So yeah, there's two ways to play. You can either be very defensive with Shuckle, biding your time, or very aggressive with Vespiquen. I feel like ideally leading with Shuckle is probably the best choice, but again, look at this. Chase Order, doing exactly enough damage to one-shot Espeon. I'll be honest, somebody at Dina really loves Grass type. I feel like for the last 2 months, Grass type has been cooking. We got Quick Grow Extract a couple months ago. Last month, we got Caterpie. Very fun to run. Opponent does concede. At that point, they really can't do much. Vespiquen stands on top, just being an absolute menace. Alright, next battle, once again, going first. Opponents leading with Carvanha, which is not good, because next turn, they could attack with Mega Sharpedo, especially if they do Wallace. But for now, Friggin' Force, we have a lot of basics. There's a high chance that we can pull a combi this turn. Pretty unfortunate, but not the worst. At this point, just place down Shuckle. And our turn. Playing this very passively, but that's basically all we could do. Once again, this deck is more powerful if you go second. So if you're eternally forced to go first, then this might not be for you, I'll be honest. Chien-Pao is looking mighty scary. Attacks, Shuckle only doing 10 damage. Feed Shuckle, and attack. I feel like one huge issue about this deck is that you're going to have a big hand for the most part. So if your opponent does Copycat, they might get a ton of value, potentially drawing their whole deck after 3 to 4 turns. Opponent Professor's Pokeballs feeds the second copy of Carvanha in the bench, unable to evolve into Mega Sharpedo. For now, very straightforward, just feed Vespiquen. And at this point, I might as well place down Poltergeist. Healing a bit, making sure that this guy doesn't get one-shot eventually. Triple Slap, just like this. If I get 2 heads, I'm able to one-shot, or not one-shot, but I'm able to take out Carvanha. But this could happen. Shuckle EX is a perfect pairing for this deck, particularly because it is a basic grass. But the main issue is the damage. It's very inconsistent. That could definitely happen. So if you hate coin flips, then this deck might not be for you. You can probably replace Shuckle with something like Badoo or another basic EX or non-EX. All opponent does is attack with Carvanha, also places down Hiking Trail. Getting very unlucky, unable to get out Sharpedo. Friggin' Force, I'm pretty sure I have all my cards just shuffling for fun. Professor's Research. This will be amazing if I can get a Leaf Cape, which we do not. Not the worst, but we can definitely work with this. So yeah, at this point, let's do this. Chasing Order. Again, we have the option, yes or no. Doesn't matter, we're one-shotting Carvanha, but just to clear off a slot, we could do this. So discarding Shuckle, just in case if my opponent has Cyrus in their hand. They finally Wallace, evolving in to Sharpedo. Look at this amazing art. Holy crap. Honestly, this new booster pack, they really cooked. Dina really did cook with the artwork. Props to Nurikabi for making this. Opponent feeds Chien-Pao, attacks with Sharpedo. Next turn, Chien-Pao can attack. We did take 70 damage, but look at our hand. We have a lot of healing. So first of all, lucky Ice Pop. Healing up for 40, not the worst. At this point, I'm going to do this. I'm a Poltergeist. I could place another combi, but I might as well be super aggressive. We have 5 cards left. Cyrus is definitely our win condition at this point. So Professor, please give me a Cyrus. We do not. Okay, we have 3 cards left though, so there's a high chance we can get it next turn. Feed Shuckle, sure. Quick Grow, Poltergeist. Doesn't really do much, just for fun, pretty much. Discarding Poltergeist. Next turn, we can place a second copy of Comfy. Yeah, it should be GG regardless. Subbing into Chien-Pao, Vespiquen can one-shot Chien-Pao, so this is... Yeah, they're trying to take out Shuckle, but Shuckle has that armor. Solid shell. Surviving with 10 HP. Kind of insane. They surrender, yeah. So as you can see, Vespiquen has a lot of potential. Can feel somewhat slow, especially if you are going first. But overall, a well-rounded grass type EX. And yeah, that was the video. Once again, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Overall, this deck is a ton of fun. Once again, can be rather slow, especially if you do go first. That's the main issue for this deck, going first. You're just way too slow, especially with how fast-paced this game is. That could definitely hinder you. But going second, you can start out strong. If you want, you could remove one of the copycats or a Sabrina. I feel like Sabrina could definitely help you out in both the early, middle, and late game. Sabrina Cyrus is a diabolical combo. Overall, I'd rate this deck B+ to A-. I feel like the main issue is definitely Shuckle. I mean, Shuckle is nice for survivability, but depending on your RNG, because of the coin flip mechanic, you could do some decent damage doing 60. Inversely, you could also do 0 damage, so might not be worth running, but overall still a ton of fun to run. And yeah, that is the video. Once again, hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you found this video informative as well as a bit entertaining. I tried to be. But yeah, that is the end of the video, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.